Alright, hey guys, Fiddle Fairy here, and welcome back to another Manga First Take. And today we're going to be taking a short look at how to raise a boring girlfriend. Now this volume was released, the series is being released by Yen Press, and as some of you may have seen or heard of or watched or all that good jazzy stuff, an anime by, I believe the same name, came out, I think it was like last summer, something like that. And so I watched the anime. It's one of the few anime I watched during that season of anime, and I actually liked it quite a lot. And although the manga and the anime seem to be telling the same story, for some reason to me they felt very different in tone sometimes. First of all, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend is basically revolves around the premise that you have this one fairly typical otaku nerd, but he is particularly obsessed with like dating sims and mostly dating sim visual novel type games. And so he's this big otaku character, and one day he has this fateful encounter where, you know, the wind and the cherry blossoms are blowing and he sees a hat flying through the breeze, and on top of the hill is a beautiful girl standing there in all of her glory, and she was the perfect character he's ever seen, because this is how he associates it in his mind. And so he wants to create a visual novel revolving around her as the main character. And so he ends up meeting this girl, and to his shock, he finds out that she is actually in the same class as him, but she is so, I guess, bland and unnoticeable that he doesn't really even remember her. And so the premise takes place especially between these two and this sort of bond they start to create, because she's sort of boring and bland and sits in the background and isn't anything special, and he wants to turn her into the main heroine of a dating sim. And so he's trying to take a character that really doesn't fit the role and fit her into this role, and then this is where the other characters come in, because these characters are like straight up typical dating sim characters. You got the tsundere, who is like this girl on the cover here, and then you got the other more like blunt, straightforward, the sexual references kind of character. And so these seem to be the three characters that the series is going to be revolving around. And I believe there are more to come later, but so far these are the two you're introduced with. One of them is a big otaku nerd as well, and she's an amazing drawer, and the other one is a well-known writer. So you kind of get this ragtag group of people together to have, you have the heroine, and then you have the writer and the artist. And so that's kind of where it revolves around. But like I was saying in the beginning of the video about, for some reason, it's almost hard for me to place this. The anime and the manga obviously have very different tones. And I think maybe the main reason for this is because Megumi, who is the main heroine girl, I probably should have been mentioning names, but I haven't up until now. Megumi is the name of the bland girl that's supposed to be our heroine. She seems different in the anime and the manga, but very subtly so. In the manga, she seems more like sort of that, not shy, but more just down-to-earth, pure-hearted, kind of just really normal. In the anime, sometimes I get the feeling she's sort of cynical kind of deal, like real loner. And so I think the main reason they seem slightly different is in the manga she seems a little different than she does in the anime. And so the situations that as far as I can tell, have all been the same, but it's got a slightly different flavor to it. It's slightly different, not by much, but I thought that was interesting. I've been enjoying this manga. The first volume was a little bit slow, but I think the anime was as well, because it's kind of really has to try to introduce everything, and so it takes a little while to get where it's going. But seeing as I've already watched part of the anime and I know where it's going, I think it seemed a little bit better to me, but I can see where if you read this volume it might seem a little bit slow to you. But I think it's going to get better as it goes along. So like I said guys, this has been released by Yen Press, and so if it sounds interesting to you, go ahead and pick it up and support all the manga publishers. But anyway guys, I've been Fiddle Ferret, and I will see you back on the prowl next time. Bye bye!